Okay. Hi Chris. So just a quick video here. This is where we were up to. So clones fly off. Got a bit of an issue going on here, but not to worry. So we could just try a different seed. Well, that was quite a good one. Well, that's pretty cool too. So I'm going to go for that one. Though it's all in one plane. Let's try another one. You can spend forever just trying to choose the right seed. Huh. The same plane again. Looks similar to what we had before. It's getting quite annoying. Okay, so because I'm getting fed up, what I'm going to do is when I bake them, I'll adjust them to the right direction. But otherwise, that's okay. I kind of wish that some of these movements were bigger. So I'm just going to see if I can adjust the wide strength. Maybe that's going to make it a bit more wiggly, a little bit. I think maybe the frequency of the wide is too much. Scale. And we want to watch this guy over here. You can see he's moving further now. And the scale of it would be how often it moves. So it looks like it moves like that sort of frequency at the moment. If we turn off the small one, we'll get a better impression of it. Could have this fall off being wider, and they would start going the right direction. It's quite an abrupt edge to that. Which means we have to look at the mapping of this. Unfortunately, again, this is something that is quite specific to R20, but it's pretty easy to do in R18. I'm just not going to get past this though. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. Just do it like this. And I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna go all the way back. It's just not working. It looked good enough before. Maybe if I'm not so ambitious, maybe if I just try and do it a little bit, increasing that, we're getting those sharp little. It's not too bad. That's okay. They look alright, but they're going the wrong direction, which I've decided to get them going the right direction, I'm going to have to adjust them anyway. So they look pretty cool. So let's stick with that. That one's screwed up a little bit there. Good. Okay, so right, when you bake them, just imagine what's happening with your camera. So, you know, I really don't want to bake them too big, because you'll just end up with huge amounts of geometry. And remember, we're gonna duplicate these all over the place. But you do want them sufficiently long so that when you bring the camera in, then you don't see them cut off. So by about this distance, I imagine there would be another one in the foreground, which will take your eye off the fact that these are coming off. So I think that is probably about the right length. Okay, so because I've got a few problems in here, like this, let's just see what it looks like with the, yeah, see, I'm not going to get away with that. Is that the only one? The only problem? Huh. But what I'm going to do is bake the tracer rather than the whole sweep. So that will give me my, just look at that for a second. So that will give me my my spline. So I can turn off my tracer now and it remains. So now I can grab those splines and put them where I want and fix them basically. So I can fix this guy here. Let's turn the sweep off. I can't see my spline. Ooh, that's why. It's a bit all over the place. So what I'm going to do is just try and delete these and hope that it smooths itself out. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. I can get rid of the cloner. Okay, now what I can do to position them is grab a point, press V, select connected, and then I can adjust the whole lot. Now, the problem is my axis is over there, so when I move it, obviously it moves away from me, which is not good. So click on that thing. Set your snapping to points, which you can do from there as well, and then snap it on. Turn that off, turn that off. Now you can adjust where you want it. So pop my sweep back on, and this one is going to come off the top. At the same time, I can turn off my subdivision on this main guy, and I can kind of decide which polygon that is going to join to. So that, what I'm going to do eventually is bridge that one to this one. So I just sort of position it so that I can be happy when it nicely, easily bridges. Okay, so let me just move on and do the others. Select connected. Turn that off. Snapping. fairly tedious, this bit, but it happens. Sometimes you have to go through the tedious stuff. We've got a guy at Microbe that he does everything procedurally, so he won't sort of get his hands dirty, sort of doing things manually like this, and because of that he really restricts himself, and he hasn't got involved with modelling at all. So I'd say it's a good idea to, or not to be frightened to break things out and do things manually sometimes. Okay, this is getting really boring though. Turn that off, turn that off. Grab this one, V, select connected, snap the axis, on. I can come off this one down there. Okay, turn it off, turn it off. Let's grab next one. These like connected. Jump it on. And this one I'm going to make come off the button. Obviously important to make sure that you're getting them going in all different directions, but at the same time not looking like it's man-made. So you don't want like a perfect star. Do, and so these guys, two guys at the top, turn that off, turn that off. Select connected. Okay, so oops. This one's going to go in this direction. And I'm going to have it come off the top. Maybe that polygon there. Or in fact, it's going to get quite complicated having 1, 2, 3 together, so I'll bring it down to one of those ones. That should be okay. Fairly happy with that. Oh, this guy is still intersecting. Like connected. So that one's going to come off this one. Cool. Okay. So yeah, so we can park that now. That's the first set of tendrils, and so I'm going to file, save, incremental. Okay, so I can always go back to 0.1 if I want to make another one of these. Then I've still got that original file. So now we're going to spawn off the branches from these guys. So yeah, we could use exactly the same technique, which let's give it a go. So then that is now coming off this guy. Surface. It's weird how they're all in the middle. Something not quite right. So let's just put on the tracer and we can see what's going on. It's weird, they're just coming from the two ends for some reason, which is fine. But it's not fine, we'll sort it out though. Let's see if we take it from here. Does that make any difference? Kind of. Okay. Maybe what we need is a connect object. Where is the connect object? Sometimes this helps with problems like this. Connect this. And then put that in there. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. We're getting branches. Now the problem with these branches is going to be there's going to be a lot of them, and we are going to have to manually sort them out because I can't think of a procedural way to get your UVs perfect without manually going in and positioning them. So yeah, let's see where we get to. Okay, so obviously they're not starting in the right place. It just occurred to me that because this is a time thing, then what we could do is fade on and off these two so let's say 15 keyframe these two guys, 15, and drop them to 0. Does that help? Yeah. So now they come off as we want them to, which is cool. Which, having thought about it now, that would have been a better way to get them attached to the start instead of this fall off effector. And so I think we need a few more of them. So let's say 20. Like I say, we don't want to get crazy with it because I suspect we're going to end up doing things manually here. And already, I mean, that looks really quite complex. 30, I'm a bit scared about doing. But 30 looks good, really good. So let's go with 30. And maybe we just pick and choose where we connect things up. Let's see how we go. But maybe if we get to a point where we're bored of connecting branches up properly, because all of these branches are going to need to be bridged to the other guy. So that's going to take us a while, just in the way that same way that we're bridging this to this. And then we'll need to, for each one, make sure that the UV starts in the same place as the UV for this, so that when a light comes up here, it continues going there, but then it also catches this one. And that's quite a manual thing to do. And I'm going to have to drop out. But you can see the way this is going for now. So all I'm going to do is continue what we were doing last time. It's just a client on Skype, so I need to get back to her. Yeah, continue what we're doing, putting a sweep on this.